Hello. Today I'm going to be talking about my November TBR, or all the books that I want to read in November. But before I get into that, I just wanted to say that I decided to give Twitter and Instagram a try to advertise videos and I don't know, just talk about video related things, I guess, or otherwise, I don't know yet, but I tried to give it a go. So I will link those down in the description if you want to go check those out. And now we can get into the video. So I wanted to read 9 books this month. That's usually my goal for every month, I guess. And I've already completed one of them, so I'm ahead of the game. I've read Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco so far. And I thought it was super good. I can't wait to read the sequel called Kingdom of the Cursed. So this was these 2 sisters and they're witches, and then one of them gets murdered and the other one swears revenge to find out who killed her and why and all that. And then she also gets help from this sort of a demon prince character, so of course there's a romance there. And I can't wait to see what happens next. Fantastic. Spooky. I guess this would be good Halloween or I don't know, fall read. And then I also have 3 books on the go right now, so I'll talk about those. I'm reading The Chrysalids by John Wyndham. This is a reread for me. I read it in school and I want to see if it's still as good as it was then, and so far, even though I'm only on page chapter 2 basically, it still is the same amount of goodness. So this is about I guess kind of a group of friends or people who all have some sort of genetic mutation, and they have to try and not get caught, because if someone finds out if they're mutated, they'll be destroyed as an abomination. So I think basically what I remember from this, which while I'm reading it, I don't really remember anything from when I read it in school, but I think that they try and escape or something like that. They have to leave because obviously people in their community aren't very nice. But so far it's just as good as I remember. I mean, the feeling, I don't really remember exactly what happened so far, but the next one I'm in the middle of is Creativity, a short and cheerful guide by John Cleese. I think he is hilarious, so I grabbed this because I figured it'd be funny, and also it's really short. So this is just about on the back it says there's a myth that creativity is something you have to be born with. This isn't the case. Anyone can be creative. So he's just kind of telling you how you can be creative and thinking up ideas and ways to change your thinking so that it's more creative. The third book that I'm in the middle of is Uprooted by Naomi Novik. This one is reminding me very much of the what is it called? Kingdom of the Wicked, because it's about again a witch, and she every 10 years this wizard character takes one of the girls from the village as some sort of payment, I guess, for protecting their village. So when he takes this girl to go live with him, he discovers that she's a witch, so he starts training her, and of course it's a romance, and then they have to go and save their village from this forest that's evil. I think this started off where I was intrigued, but now that I've gotten about halfway, it's starting to kind of slow down and drag a little. I mean, that happened. So those are the books that I've read or have already started. Now for the books that I haven't got to yet. I mean, we're just at the beginning of the month, so obviously there's still quite a few to go. Days, I mean. Well, and books. So I grabbed Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I tried reading this a couple of years ago, but I couldn't get through it, so I wanted to try and, get through it before the end of this year. So this is a love story between two characters who, to me, aren't really suited. Like, they're very, like, opposites maybe, or maybe they're the same, so that's maybe why they're not suited. They're both very, like, I want to say violent, but not violent, but they're very, like, maybe strong-willed, stubborn characters. So they have their sort of romance, but they end up with other people, but they're still, like, in love with each other, and it's just, a whole mess, basically. But the thing is about this is why I don't think I can get through it, is because the writing, besides being very small, is, like, very dense, and it's hard to get through because of the way, like, the people talk. Like, they talk in, like, their slang or vernacular, which I find hard to read. But I'm gonna give it a go again and see if I can get through it this time. And then I grabbed a V.C. Andrews, which is basically kind of like a treat, I think, because all the books are just so easy to get through, and, like, they're so gossipy and dramatic. It's just a fun time. This one is called Broken Flower. I read the sequel to this, and I realized I hadn't read the first one, so I decided to go back to it. So it's about a girl, and then she lives with her grandma. That's very common in these. And she just has basically a bad time of it, which is also very common in these books. Her world spins out of control. That's what happens in every single one of V.C. Andrews' books. And I just eat it up. And then I wanted to read the next book in the Oz series, which would be the Patchwork Girl of Oz, which is book number 7. So I'm not exactly sure what happens in this one. I'll have to read the back. So it has the Munchkins, they meet a living girl made of patchwork quilts and cotton stuffing. But when an accident leaves one of the Munchkins a statue, it is up to the other one to save him. And then can the mighty Wizard of Oz help? And I bet he can. So that'd be book 7 in this, that I would like to continue on my journey reading all the Oz books. And then I grabbed Homework. This is a memoir of my Hollywood years by Julie Andrews. So this is, autobiography of her talking about her Hollywood years, I guess all the movies she made in Hollywood, her life during that time. A picture of her, looks like she's dancing. I like Julie Andrews. I guess my favorite thing would be Mary Poppins, so I'd like to find out more about her life and her movies and etc. I think she has other autobiographies too, but this is the only one the library had, so I grabbed this one. If I like this one, I like to read the other one too, maybe. And last book I want to read in November is Helpless by Barbara Gowdy. I grabbed this because I don't usually read a lot of thrillers, but this is a thriller about kidnapping, which is, if I was going to read a thriller, I think I'd go in that direction, the kidnapping direction. Does that sound creepy? Anyway, so it's about I think a girl gets kidnapped, and then the mom is trying to obviously find her. This is the haunting existential novel of abduction and of obsessive love. But it sounds like it's a little girl who gets kidnapped, so I don't know how that comes into play, but so we'll just have to see how it plays out. This is a cute cover though, looks like a little dollhouse. So those are the books that I've already read or want to read in November. Let me know what you want to read in November. Oh, and if you wanted to check out the Twitter and the Instagram, that'll be linked down below. And I will see you next time.